Hey everybody, this is Michael, and welcome to my final video for CGT 245 and my final developer commentary regarding the three prototypes game I made, and also just questions about what I've learned in the class in general. So let's jump right into it. So, just talking about this game jam overall, I had a lot of fun doing it. I also struggled immensely with things, which I will definitely talk about more in detail as we answer the questions. But overall, I loved making each individual game and had a lot of fun doing it, especially the third one. Even though it wasn't a very long game, it still meant a lot to me, regardless of the simplicity and time of it. But yeah, let's jump right into these questions. So, the first question is, what game development skills have I specialized in this semester? So, I've always kind of thought of myself as a well-rounded person. I mean, I did every project on my own, including the final projects, which could have been done in groups, but I chose to do them myself for the added challenge. I think I've definitely specialized in blueprinting and understanding the blueprints. This really made me want to expand my knowledge in C++ after understanding how all the logic worked in blueprints and just seeing everything connect and hitting that compile button, seeing it light up green just made me so excited. So I really dedicated a lot of time to blueprinting and blueprint, and I think that I definitely excelled in it this semester. I mean, considering that I've never touched Unreal Engine 5 before this. What other skills have I improved while developing games? Definitely my modeling. Now, for my job right now, I am a 3D modeler intern. So I have definitely improved on my modeling in Unreal Engine as well. I kind of really figured out you could actually do that. I mean, I always had the idea that you could, but I didn't realize inside of Blueprints you could really make some special things happen. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I did really learn a lot in this game jam that I had. But yeah, definitely other skills I've learned was modeling and putting things together. What was a game development task that I excelled at? Um, so obviously there's a lot of tasks that you have to do, and one thing I felt that I did really well was organizing everything. I made sure to always name um, my assets. I always made sure to, have underscores under them and just really, you know, what's it called? Specifically, like detail them, I guess is the way of saying it. Grouping everything together, putting comments under my blueprints, making sure that I used um, the additional wire points you can put on the wires to make them spread out. Also, like making sure everything was just cleanly formatted, like not copying over other blueprints, making it, a huge jumble of code, making sure that everything was super clean because while in the beginning, um, being organized really like doesn't matter. Once you get to that late game point where you have all this garble of code and all these assets and you don't remember which one goes to which, it really helps being organized. So that was definitely a task that I excelled at. Um, what was a game development task that I struggled with but overcame it? So at first, I don't know if I really consider this a game development task, but more of like hand holding. Um, I definitely struggled with kind of coming up with things on my own. I took, I guess you could say, a lot of inspiration from other stuff at first, but I think that's something that everybody goes through when they're first, designing games. They don't really know where to start. But I just couldn't think of anything. But eventually, I got a lot better at brainstorming and making things come to life. And also, at first, I was very nervous. I didn't really want to think outside of the box just because I didn't know if I was capable of actually making what I wanted to do. Now I understood I couldn't make a AAA game just by myself in a week, but I think I could have definitely pushed myself a bit harder, which I eventually did in this game jam, putting myself on the time I did. How did I manage myself through stressors outside of the class? That's a good question. So obviously outside of this class, I'm taking 12 other credits. I'm taking five other class. I'm sorry, four other classes, and that was definitely a lot, obviously. But especially having a job on top of taking 15 credit hours definitely stressed me out a little bit during this. Like I was working on some things earlier this week while also doing this, so that definitely put some stress on me. But like everything, I just persevered through and just got through it. And I was really glad that I did. And I'm really glad that I'm in the position that I am. And now, how might I do things differently next time? So, in general, I think I definitely could have done things with a little bit more research. I kind of just threw myself in there expecting to kind of just, oh, I'll eventually figure it out. And like sometimes that didn't happen. So that was a bit of a pain. I think I definitely could have done more research regarding like what is a, you know, genre of this. Like what goes into let's for example, what goes into a 2D platformer? Okay, so this does, that does, all that kind of stuff. Um I kind of went in just off of like what I've seen, which is like not enough information at all for games. So I kind of wish I did a little bit more research on my games before I attempted to make them. But um, that didn't stop me from eventually learning and understanding what different things mean and what can go into a game. Like basing my perception off of three first person shooters when I mean reality there are like thousands. It's just something like I shouldn't do. I should, you know, research every type of first person shooter and their subgenres and stuff like that. So that's definitely something I could do different next time. But it all worked out in the end and I got everything done, which I'm most proud of. So that's it for about the questions. Now, I just wanted to go in and talk about each individual game I made and how it went. So, for the first one, prompt one, which was Jumpman Juke, was create a level from the 1981 Donkey Kong arcade game, but put my own twist on it. So, you'll be able to see the videos for each prompt I've done, but just wanted to give you a quick little, speech about them. But I wanted to make a 2.5D platformer, and my player could jump, crouch, run, move, double jump, and climb. The game was called Stone Mayhem because every asset was made and textured from stone. But besides the main stuff, I just wanted to say that this one was kind of fun because I've never actually made a 2.5 dimensional platform before, or where the camera just follows the player from the side. I thought that was really fun. I've only ever done third person, first person. So this was pretty cool to do. I had a lot of fun making the double jump, and that has a lot of influence on my next game that you'll see. But yeah, this is also how I learned with user widgets and canvas and block text to make all this on screen stuff happen. So that was also something really cool that I learned. But yeah, overall, this game was really fun, and you'll see a lot more info about it in the video. Same with Prompt 2, only one input. This was a game making where you can only use one input, which I ended up using the space bar, which gave the jumping ability. I called this Jump Mania. So I was able to make a four different ways of jumping, which was the base jump, a double jump, a long jump, and then the biggest jump. So you just tapped it once for base, tapped twice for double. You held down the space bar for a longer jump, and then you could hold down the space bar twice for the biggest jump. And then each jump was used to avoid a different type of object or asset coming at the player, the player was stationary on a platform. Um, I had a lot of fun again exploring jump mechanics in Unreal 5. I say that I would almost consider myself a master, but obviously you can never really be a master at anything, especially how early I am into my career. But I had overall a lot of fun playing it too. Even the end was kind of funny because I threw in a little surprise ending there. But yeah, finally, I just want to talk about my third and final game, which was Jammed. Create a game with your own imagination, incorporate well, obviously your own imagination, incorporating the word jammed. So I kind of wanted to jam a bullet into something, which was the target. So my final game was a target shooting game where it was meant to be a speedrunners game. You're in first person and you run around a map shooting targets practically. But I put a lot of time into the customization of the gun. The gun had its own recoil. It had a um, muzzle burst, or yeah, where like smoke would come out from the muzzle after the bullet. A customizable sound for that, sparks coming out, an actual bullet shooting, and a customizable gun prop and scope. So I thought it was really cool doing all that, and also working with chaos in Unreal Engine 5 was really cool, seeing how everything broke down and stuff, and the targets break when shot upon. But yeah, overall with this game, I had a lot of problems blueprinting at first, but once I got the hang of it and understanding how booleans and logic worked, a lot more in depth, this became a breeze, to be honest with you. I love the blueprint language. I think it's really cool and definitely piqued my interest in learning C++. But overall, I wanted to thank you so much for listening to my developer commentary, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.